Yeah, welcome back, fellas. Find my old iPad out, didn't I? Look at this high budget shit. Bosh! From two angles. Yeah! Little wide shot ting! Yeah, after talking about him last week, just got me so transfixed. Because that thing is. I must have got that in 2012. Pretty crazy. And they don't even update these fucking iPads anymore. So it's just got all the apps from 2017 on it, which is so fun. So it's basically useless, really. There's nothing that I can do on it except for using the tabs for the piano chords and songs and stuff like that. But I was going to use it up here, so have it on my chest like this so I can look stupid with an iPad, reading out facts and figures, facts and fictoids. I'm pretty out of breath after that whole little thing there. But look at this. Now it doesn't even matter. Now I can stand up. Now I can walk and talk on the job. Can't I, boy? Everybody wants me in HD. 1080p. I think that only does 720p. Ooh, not good enough. But what did I want to get into straight away this week? You know, I went to York, the capital of Yorkshire, the National Train Museum. I know what everyone's thinking right now, and I thought it as well. Who gives a fuck about trains? I'm not a freak. My sister was graduating, so I had a bit of time to kill, and just to prevent the good of the family relationship, I thought it's best that I spend as little amount of time with my family as possible, because I'm going to end up dropping my mom. My mom starts getting a big mouth, man. I'm going to have to drop her in front of everybody. No, but I'm joking. But I'm being serious at the same time. I did have to get away from the fam. You know, I got a little butterfly's got to fly his wings. So I was walking around all the, what do they call them, snickets. That feels like a racial slur to me, so I won't say it anymore because I don't want this shit to get knocked off. All right, we're trying to get on BBC. We're trying to be a presenter in this. No, I'm not trying to be a presenter. Hey-oh! I'm trying to be on the International Terror Watch list. Where was I? Yeah, York. And for my little activity, I decided to go to the National Train Museum, which is fantastic. So I walked over there, right? And, you know, being in there 10 minutes, I just knew that I was the coolest, sexiest, and silliest person in that whole warehouse. And it felt good. I definitely would recommend if you're thinking about feeling good about yourself, go look at some trains, because the other people that are there are 90 years old, or the rest are in wheelchairs. But, you know, I went in and it was free. I love being a tourist, you know. I don't really do it that much because I'm kind of lazy and I'm scared or everything. But it's so fun just to go somewhere and talk to everyone. I love doing that because you kind of have this like, oh, I don't know, look at me, help me. And everyone's so nice. Oh, I'm going to stop doing that. So what was the train museum like? All right, have you got anything to say about it? Or are you just going to keep being fat on talking down the microphone? I've got plenty to say about it. Thank you. First of all, you walk in, and within 2 trains' time, they've got the biggest train in Britain and the fastest train of its time next to each other. Why would you do that? I at least spread them out. That's the only thing that I came in there to see, is the biggest and the fastest. And it's quite incomprehensible, if I'm going to be honest, about what the real size of these things are. It's like planes when you see them 10,000 feet up in the air. You think, oh, they're like the size of birds. And then when you see one flying towards your office building on September 11th, they're actually quite freaking big. They can do a lot of damage. So I was stood next to this biggest train that Britain's ever built. And I'm 6'5", and this thing was... the wheels were as big as me, guys. And I'll put a picture up of this hog. But I don't think the pictures really do it justice. That's what I usually say when I send people dick pics as well, you know. Oh, you know, it's bigger in real life. Yeah, and then they've got this Shinzanzun train, which is the bullet train, which all the normies call it. But I'm actually pretty Japanese. I'm pretty bilingual, so I know it's called the Shinzanzun. was beautiful. And just a couple of days prior to this, I'd been watching some travelers go around Japan, and it really made me want to do it. I was watching this guy just get drunk in this little bar, and the bars are so small. They're such small people, and they're all jam packed in. Their bars are like a little table, and someone serves alcohol, which just seems so fun. Can have all my Japanese boys around me like this, and we can all get drunk. Let me just try and close my eyes and think back as to what I was feeling when I was going around this train shop. Yeah, I was just talking to everyone I could get my hands on. There was this woman who was getting a coffee next to me, and I was like, "Yo, babe, what are you doing here?" And apparently, these people who love trains, they go on train holidays and they just catch trains and go around England, which ain't quite cup of my tea. Isn't quite my cup of tea. You know, I prefer prostitutes and guns. I want a gun to my head. If I'm on holiday and I haven't got a gun in my mouth and I haven't just lost all my holiday money in one night, I'm not really having fun, to be honest. So the thought of eating sandwiches in first class cabins, it does not arouse me. But these people love it. And she looked at me and, so sweetly she went, "Are you a train person?" And I just had to stop her there. And I went, "Shh, shh, shh. No." Put my finger on her lips. No. No, 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 no. Do I look like a train person? Bitch. And I went like that, and I started flexing, and I put my arm around her neck, and I said, "Yeah, go on, what were you saying?" "Ah, yeah, ah, yeah, bye, yeah." Just really fantastic stuff, and it makes me want to buy a train. I wonder how much these freaking things cost, because I want one in my living room. I was hoping that I'd see Francis Burgoyne there, and I could punch him in the face in person. I constantly have dreams about me being tied to railways and him rescuing me. How we doing over there, eh? But what else? What else happened in York, man? I went to the cathedral, obviously, because that's where my sister had all her graduation. And that was fun. I love history. And I went round, and they have all statues of not all, but a section, a period of history of the kings. And I don't know if there's any queens in there, but I took a picture, and you can't really see. At the end of the ceremony, I wanted to go and have a closer look, but some cunt Spanish woman said that I wasn't allowed, so I nearly fucking... Anyway, woo! It's weird at the graduations. Everyone's like going up, and they go, "For the bachelor's degree of human science, Philip Seymour Hoffman," and they come up and everyone claps, and then there's a few people that start whooping and hollering like "Woo! Woo!" And you meant to clap for everyone, but I'll tell you what, I had a couple of rules. Guys. If anybody started whooping or screaming, I'd stop clapping. If I didn't like the subject that they got a degree in, I wouldn't bother clapping. One girl got up and got an award for social sciences and political correctness. I nearly took my shoe off and fucking hiked it at this bitch. George Bush style, man. And they were playing the organ to warm up everyone before the ceremony started. And it was quite fantastic because you only ever hear these organs, at like the worst or best times of your life. There's no sort of in between. You never hear them just while you're doing mundane shit. It's always something spectacular, either death or marriage, or maybe like a baptism or something like that, or a graduation. It's wild, but you never, no one's like, "Oh, I love organ music," unless they're like nearly deceased. And being in this cathedral, this holy building, it really got me sort of thinking about like God in heaven and hell and stuff like that. And my sort of, I went to Sunday school, so we always used to sing hymns and stuff in school and do a prayer. But I went to Sunday school, and I do have a little bit of Jesus in me. I do think he squirted a little bit of his juice in me. And that's because, whenever anything goes horrific in my life, I could peel back the curtain and maybe try and whisper something to him to help out. But while I was just while we were all just waiting in this cathedral, this organ's playing, and some of the songs are getting a little bit deep. I just thought I'd lean down and I'd have a little prayer, see if I'd just have a little chat with Jesus, man. And I wasn't asking for anything real. I was just kind of just talking to him, like, dude, you've done a great job with this cathedral. I mean, your guys are great. The interior decorator is amazing. I hope that he's up in heaven or something, and you guys are having a sweet little jacuzzi time. All the stained glass, beautiful. And it got me thinking about heaven and hell and stuff. And this place really looked like it was maybe the entrance to heaven or something. And I was like, gosh, imagine if there's like an alternate underworld where everyone's just queuing up here, waiting to go and get admitted into heaven. And then you think about it, and it's kind of a logistical nightmare, to be honest. Heaven, isn't it, and hell, really. I guess hell not, because you can just burn enough people, can't you, and get rid of them. But heaven must be a real overcrowded party, if I'm thinking about it, because there was just be no space anymore, no more room left at the inn. Like little Mary and Joseph. It's got all these cool walls.